Welcome to World Down Syndrome Day 2022. We're delighted to share this going forward update with you to highlight how important inclusion is and what it means for all of us. We have a lot to share. We're going to be looking at work supporting families in the Ukraine, the work of our voice with government, about the Down Syndrome Bill, employment, a little bit about the helpline training and support services that carry on every day, all day, every day, some new information, and what's been happening with DS Active and DSA Engage. And then we'll finish off telling you about the 50th anniversary exhibition. I'm going to hand over to Carol now to tell us about work supporting families in the Ukraine.
Hi, everybody. You may have seen that we have raised a very large amount of money since we opened the appeal for our friends in Ukraine. So far, we've managed to send funds to Ukraine, helping families on the ground. And we've also been supporting families that have fled from Ukraine, particularly in Poland. That's where the largest concentration of families has been. And so far, every single family that has gone to Poland that we know of has been accommodated. They've been helped with funds, with supplies, and quite a few have been helped with medical assistance. There was a little 7-month-old baby and his mum over the weekend that arrived in Gdansk, and they were taken straight to the local cardiac unit because the baby had a very severe heart defect. So that kind of thing is happening all the time. There are supplies going into Ukraine from Poland, and then there are people who are involved in a chain moving supplies around Ukraine. And then yesterday I received a long list from the Ukraine Down Syndrome Support Organization of all the people that have been helped with cash donations now in Ukraine, because people are running out of money. They're also running out of supplies, but a lot of people are running out of money. So a lot of the funds now will be going in straight cash donations to help people on the ground. We're also supporting, and I've been asked by a few people, are we helping families with other disabilities? And the answer to that is yes. If we come across them through our networks, we're supporting them in the same way that we're supporting people with Down syndrome and their families. It's an amazing operation happening out there in Europe. All of the organizations are coming together to help. And obviously we won't find everybody, but we're certainly managing to find a lot of people and help them on their way. So please pass on the word that we're doing this. We're doing it together with the European Down Syndrome Association, the organizations in Poland, and organizations all over Europe. So we've got our link up today, so if you could pass that round to people. We're still taking donations, we still need funds to send out there. And now we've got a lovely message from our voice to people in Ukraine. Thank you.
We are in UK. We are part of our voice to send a message over to Ukraine, to the government of the households. I want to say that Ukraine is actually incredible, very organising and well organised, keeps people away from the bombing and fire for their ordeals going through the war to save the children and the families, and they are incredible to assess what they need to know. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm Angus from Our Voice. God bless and sleep tight, Ukraine.
Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I'm also from the Our Voice in the UK. I want to give my thought to the people to all the families, especially some of the families with children who have Down syndrome in the Ukraine. I want them to stay strong and hope that they get through this, and that hopefully one day this will come to an end and all the families will stay safe again. Thank you for listening from Our Voice.
Hi, I'm Emma in Our Voice, and I'd like to say just be strong, just get through your strongest or weakness and health, and just be positive about things. I know it's hard, I know it's upsetting, but just be strong. That's it. So thank you for Our Voice.
And thank you to all of our families who have offered accommodation to families fleeing from the Ukraine. We are keeping a list of those families, and I am actually talking to people in Poland and in Ukraine. So if there are families that want to come to the UK, we are keeping a list of host families. Thanks, Jill.
Thank you. And now we're handing over to Sam. And Robin, do you want to introduce work, Robin?
Can do. I'll just welcome. We've got Sam, Joe and Catherine today talking about what they have been working on since January this year. So over to you, Sam.
Thank you, Robin. Here are some of the things we have been working on this year. Our Voice is part of the DSA team. We work together for change. We celebrate our hard work and received certificates. We have 2 new members in the weekly check-in. Welcome to David and James. We look forward to working together. We work on a new Easy resources that will help be released soon. We talk about how we look after our well-being. We posted our thoughts on Facebook. You can see them on the main Facebook page.
Thank you, Sam. Now to Catherine.
You're on mute, Catherine.
Thanks, Robin. Right. Mum. Oh. Sorry about that. Right. Hello. My name is Catherine, and I am here to talk about working with the NHS. A team of us have been working on a project with the NHS. The NHS asked the DSA to work with them to make health services better for people who have Down syndrome. They want doctors, nurses,
receptionists, the ambulance service, to easily know if the patient has a learning disability. This would be called a digital flag. A computer system would tell them straight away. Here are some of the things we talked about. So this is Jenny, and she said they need to be very clear about medication and that you understand it. And if you are on a new medication, you understand the side effects and things. They should be aware for the patient that there is a named person can get test results. This sometimes doesn't happen. Everything should be put in writing so you can talk about it with someone after your appointment. The next person is Emily, and she said, what I think that everyone needs to learn more about Down syndrome. I am more into educating people on Down syndrome. It's great to keep on learning on the way. It will be good if there was a handbook. Do research and do more to help us so we can educate them and the world about Down syndrome. That's the most important. Learning never stops. And now we helped improve the Tell It Right training so that people know more about our lives. This is a training for midwives. Here are some of the things we said. So this is Ted, and he said, I live with my mum, dad, and brother Max. My hobbies are listening to music, going out with my friends, eating food, especially when it's extra spicy. I love fish and chips, listening to One Direction. My job is to focus in lessons at school. My dreams are to go to sixth form, then college, then uni, then flat, and living here, and meet a girl. This is the advice to parents. This is the first phase in your baby's life, and it's the start of something new. The next person is Claude, and he said, I live with my mum, dad, and my brother. My uncle and grandma live next door. My hobbies are playing sports, doing something with my friends, playing the keyboard. I have a job at Little Cookers every Saturday morning. I am proud of my certificates from school. I would like to go to Disneyland Paris. This is the advice for parents. Congratulations. I would love to meet you, and I hope you are happy. The next and the final person is Daniel, and he said, I live with Mum, Lydia, and Mark. I like cooking and baking and eating puddings. I like watching Sky Sports. I like swimming. I like the Queen and making things. I go to college. I am proud of making things, making and eating curries and baking cakes. I would like to work on a farm with pigs, cows, and other animals. This is the advice for parents. Daniel said, be a daddy and mummy.
Thank you, Catherine. Now I'd like to hand over to Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I will be talking about World Down Syndrome Day, that is today. So we have worked on different things for World Down Syndrome Day. We have made an online art gallery about inclusion, and you can see our pictures and videos on the website now. We interviewed people about inclusion. So Catherine spoke to Tian, a dance coach from Down syndrome. David spoke to his Taekwondo sports teacher. Jenny spoke to her uncle, who was a school head teacher. And Lindsay spoke to her work manager. We will have an online party for all our members of our voice later on today at 4 p.m. We will be celebrating inclusion. Thanks from our voice.
Thank you. And you have something else to say, don't you?
Yeah, and I am also moderating a UN event about inclusive education.
Oh, I'll go back.
Thanks. And just one last thing to say as well, on top of all this. I know there may be some things going on throughout the day that you may find hard in listening to. But if you do find anything hard to listen to while doing this day, then you can always call the helpline if you're worried about anything, and the DSA can help you with whatever your worries are. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Joe. That's fantastic. Thank you to everybody. Now to Julian.
Good morning, everybody. Really nice to connect with you on World Down Syndrome Day. Just such a lot that we could update you on that's happened over the last month or so. So this is just a sort of snapshot of highlights. We continue to be involved with a monthly meeting with the Department of Health and Social Care. And this is about a group of 40 charities working in the learning disability community. And it's a sort of two-way communication where we can share information about our work and feed through the views and opinions of people who have Down syndrome, and the government can update us on things that they're working on, and hence we get these invitations to be involved in some of the specific projects. And that particular area of work is mirrored in Wales, and tomorrow I'll be going to the quarterly Learning Disability Ministerial Advisory Group, which focuses on activities that Welsh Government do in relation to people with a learning disability, and they just launched their 5-year Learning Disability Action Plan, which we are very pleased to be involved in helping to write. Lots of work in relation to health and the NHS. So firstly, we would mention the DSA gets involved very regularly with research projects, and one of the most exciting ones that started a little while ago was the sponsorship of a PhD student working with the Institute of Child Health, and this is looking at data that is held in relation to children's schooling and young people's education, and then looking to see whether there are links between that and health data. So some, very exciting possibilities that might emerge from that over the next 3 years. As we heard from Catherine, one of the projects we've been working on over the last 6 months has been the Digital Flag project, and this is a pilot scheme that is being trialled in about a dozen areas around England. And then the hope is that clinicians that are involved in that process will learn from that, and very importantly, learn from the experiences and views of people who have a learning disability. And that's why we've been asked to be a partner, and feeding through the thoughts of people who are Down syndrome to make sure that that development is going to be as positive as possible. You may be aware that the government or all public bodies have a requirement to make information accessible. And we know from our own experience that is done well in some instances and not so well in others. The government has initiated a review which has been taking place over the last 6 months or so. and we had a team of researchers come to speak to 2 of the Our Voice groups in the last couple of weeks, and they took the feedback from individuals who have Down syndrome involved in that network back to government to make sure that we can try and improve this process. So very importantly, Our Voice members have been very busy over the last couple of months, and I'm sure will continue to be as we move forward. Really exciting news on World Down Syndrome Day, and I've just been on the website to say that it is live. So if you go to the nhs.uk website, and if you put into the search box Down syndrome, it will take you to a series of information about Down syndrome. But we've been working with a team of professionals at NHS Digital. It's taken about a year, and we started off with focus groups that involved families who had had a baby with Down syndrome in the recent past. And then we developed a storyboard, and we identified 3 families in different parts of the country who were willing to be filmed. And it's about a 15-minute film, so this is quite a detailed journey with individuals' lived experience. So it's really very uplifting. I'd say go and have a look at it, and it's the sort of information that anybody that was Googling Down syndrome would hopefully go to an NHS website, because it's good quality, curated information, and they will now see this lovely film featuring three families that have all got children of varying ages, but in that sort of early years up to sort of primary school age. And then Kovid work still continues in the background. So we've been involved in sharing information around the country and internationally about the effectiveness of vaccines for people who have Down syndrome, and the information that is coming through is actually very positive. I did spot that there was a question in chat about vaccine boosters, and it's in the news today because certain groups of individuals are being invited for a 4th booster. And this doesn't routinely affect individuals who have Down syndrome. The spring booster is only for older people aged 75 and over, or people who are classed as immunosuppressed, which doesn't particularly affect individuals with Down syndrome unless they have an additional health condition. So if in doubt, get in touch with our helpline. But what we are expecting is that there will be a general invitation in the autumn as we get the invitations for seasonal flu vaccine, and that will include a booster for COVID-19, and that will include the general population of people with Down syndrome. We're pushing government around decisions about making free lateral flow tests still available, because obviously that is going to end at the beginning of April, and we feel that should be free tests should be extended to people who have Down syndrome. So we're waiting for information that we can share on that. We've been following the experience of families where an individual who has Down syndrome and has tested positive for COVID and wishes to access the antiviral medication. There have been a few little glitches in the system, and we've been feeding that back very swiftly to policymakers at the NHS to try and make sure that system is working as efficiently as possible. And we're ready to get, beginning to anticipate that there will be a public inquiry on the COVID pandemic. This has been widely discussed in the news, and we'll make sure that we feed through to government officials the experiences of families of children and adults who have Down syndrome. So the key news really is it's a very fast changing picture. We will be updating information on our website. There's a specific COVID information section, and as soon as we get information from government and the NHS, we will update that. I'm due to go to a meeting next week, so hopefully we'll have news about things going forward from April onwards. But in the meantime, do call our helpline, because our information team are briefed and know the latest information, are very willing to field any queries. And then finally, on the policy front, a very big policy consultation, which has some quite significant implications for individuals who have, well, for all of us, but particularly individuals who have a learning disability. The government was consulting about proposed changes on the Human Rights Act, which we felt very strongly that they should remain as they are. We fed through information to that effect. There was quite a lot of information in the news about a year ago where families of young people who have a learning disability were experiencing difficulties in accessing child trust funds because those were maturing as individuals reached the age of 18. And there was a consultation process about a system for families to be able to access that without having to go to the court of protection. And so we gave evidence to that committee and also a written response. And at the moment, and we have the spring statement on Wednesday, a group of learning disability charities were campaigning to have a greater than previously publicised uplift in welfare benefits. That's set according to rises in inflation, and obviously we know that inflation at the moment is running very high with energy costs and food costs rising. And so we're making the case that the rise should be higher than would otherwise be the case to reflect the fact that all families are experiencing real pressures on their budgets.
Thank you, Julian. Now, some news about two of our current campaigns, and you may have seen the weekly blogs which share key messages about inclusive education for all learners. This is a joint campaign with Down Syndrome International and Down Syndrome Scotland, which we hope will raise awareness and will help advocate for long-term system change. You can sign up to the campaign on our website. Also, we're collecting information to gain insight into NHS speech and language therapy provision for children living in Northern Ireland, Wales and England, with the aim of improving that service. And we're inviting families with children up to 11, starting with them, to tell us about their experiences of accessing speech and language therapy for their child. So there's a link on our website. If you'd like to go there, there are some questions to help you answer in your own words, and we'd appreciate that as we're gathering that. Also, there's a newly formed clinical excellence network for speech and language therapists, which we also expect to help improve support for people. And we were delighted that it held its first meeting at the Langdon Down Centre on Friday just gone, Friday the 18th of March. So good luck to that group. We are working to shape the guidance for the Down Syndrome Bill. You'll know that government are starting to plan for the consultation on the guidance that will follow if the bill is passed. The Department of Health and Social Care will consult widely and in an open and inclusive way in developing the guidance. And the DSA will be involved in the consultation, and we will consult with all of our members to feed into the process. We welcome the opportunity to shape the guidance with government alongside other stakeholders, and we'll be starting that this week with beginning work with members of our voice for them to tell us what they think public bodies should know, and we will be involving everybody. Okay. Thank you. Now I'd like to hand over to Alison to tell us about the world of employment.
Hi everyone, it's lovely to be back with you after a while. Lots going on with WorkFit, so I've just got a couple of short slides to update you on what's happening. Can you go to the next slide, please, Jill? So we were thrilled to be asked to present a keynote speech at the World Down Syndrome Congress in November, and we had Thomas and Tommy, who were pictured there, who co-produced and featured in that presentation. They talked about their work at GXO Logistics. They're both at different sites doing different jobs in England, and they gave a wonderful presentation with their managers about what they do and how they do it. And if you'd like to watch that presentation, you can see it on our YouTube channel. The link is there. Thanks, Jill. We were also successful at the BASE Awards in November. That BASE is the British Association for Supported Employment. And Angus is featured there, who we've heard from already today. So Angus is on the call. He's pictured there. He received a highly commended award for his work at the Developer Society. Angus is a website accessibility tester, and he looks at websites for companies and gives them some feedback about how easy it is to use their website and how easy it is to find things on the website. And he's done his work from home during the pandemic and adapted incredibly well, with some support from Molly in the WorkFit team and from his colleagues at the Dev Society. And that's going incredibly well. So congratulations again, Angus, on that success. Reese is also pictured there, third from the left, and he accepted the award that was given to the Spicery. They got a highly commended for best employer practice. And both Reese and Angus went up onto the stage and collected those awards and gave fabulous speeches. They were very engaging and very interesting. And then everybody danced the night away. It was a fantastic event. We all had a wonderful time. So congratulations to Reese and the Spicery and Angus and the Dev Society for that wonderful success, and nice to be recognised as well. Thanks, Jill. Then we also had a visit from Chloe Smith, Minister for Disabled People, Work and Health. She visited the London Hilton Metropole Hotel, where at that point we had 3 employees working. So she met Shamari, Brogan and Sam. She was very impressed by the WorkFit programme and recorded video for us. She opened the WorkFit conference last Thursday. If any of you were with us for the conference, that was a wonderful event. We did that on Thursday afternoon. And Chloe Smith talked about the success of WorkFit and how much she'd enjoyed meeting our candidates at the Hilton. We've got a lot going on at the Hilton, a lot going on generally with lots of different companies at the minute. It's incredibly busy. And I noticed a couple of people who were on the call today. I'm going to be in touch with them this week about potential exciting opportunities. So look forward to catching up with a few of you this week. Next slide, please, Jill. And then we also introduced Alok Sharma to 3 candidates at a company called CGI. And he was there as part of his COP role and was delighted to meet the 3 guys who run the coffee shop there. They're all there on a part-time basis in a job share role, providing coffee and snacks and refreshments to people coming into CGI. So again, he was very impressed to meet Billy, Daniel and Rebecca there, and very keen to hear more about WorkFit. So an awful lot going on. I think that's the last slide from me, Jill, but lots going on. Very busy with WorkFit. If you haven't heard from us, hopefully we'll be in touch with you fairly soon. But I'm delighted to say very busy and lots of great success to celebrate on World Down Syndrome Day. So much to celebrate. So thanks everyone for listening, and enjoy the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Alison.
Oh, sorry, Jill, I forgot the One Show. We were on the One Show in January. Good heavens, the most exciting news, and I almost missed it. We were on the One Show in January, and we have a lovely film, but unfortunately we're not allowed to share it with you. The BBC have very strict rules about what can be shared and for how long. It was on iPlayer for a while, and we did share the links on our social media, so I'm hoping that you may have seen it on iPlayer. If not, apologies that we can't show it now, but we featured India, Reese and Matthew, who were all in very different jobs, and it was a lovely piece, and we're very excited to share that and had a lot of great feedback from the One Show. So I think that's it now, Jill.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Now, don't mention the helpline, which is open to absolutely everybody. And of course, we welcome any callers who have Down syndrome. So a little reminder about what we do, all week, every day, and the scale and breadth of topics that are responded to by our team of information officers and also a wide network of specialist advisors. And I've just put a few percentages in to give you an idea. You'll see, nearly a quarter are related to children, education, child development, service provision, etc. And then nearly as many are for adults. And always a high category, very busy category, is benefits advice from our very specialist and expert benefits advisor. And then also another big category is all areas of health, and lots of other topics that make up the rest of the percentages, including, you know, prenatal and new baby calls, employment, leisure, and inclusion and services. You'll have noticed that we have been putting out weekly helpline stories. Obviously everything's anonymized, and we just give a few snippets, but to let people know about the range of the different ways in which that service helps, the different types of inquiries that we have. And you can email us as well through the info@ address. Now, part of the service is undertaken with close working with the Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group of UK and Ireland, and I'd like to hand over to Jill Ellis.
Hello, hi, hello. I am, my name's Jill Ellis, and I am a consultant paediatrician, and I'm the chair of the Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group. Can you hear me all right, Jill? Is that all right? Because I can't see properly on my side. Brilliant. So we're a group of doctors who have a special interest in Down syndrome. Most of us are paediatricians, but we have some adult doctors as well, working in A&E and other teams. And we're really interested in trying to help people with Down syndrome be as healthy as possible. We work really closely with the DSA. We get ideas from you about things we need to know more about. And also we support some of those advisors on the helpline when there are tricky questions or difficult things to answer. We often have a think about it and talk, and we'll discuss with all our members and then feedback information to try and help. And we also help write some of these articles. You can see an orthopedic one on the slide, and we've been involved in writing those journals, and we write articles for your DSA journal. Just as doctors though, we meet twice a year, and we have conferences, and we write guidelines which are published and approved by the Royal College of Paediatrics now, and those try to make all the doctors across England try to stick to the best available practice for annual reviews in Down syndrome to keep people healthy. And we also support the research, and researchers come to us when they want information about how to run projects, and we link them back to the DSA. So hopefully we all get to work together in different ways, and it really helpful. And it's great to be involved with the DSA because it really helps us to understand what the issues are. So thanks very much, Jill.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, you're very busy, and we're very grateful for the service. Thank you. Oh, just a reminder of some of the training and support events taking place in the coming month. Tell It Right happens all the time, every day. Tomorrow, there's a World Down Syndrome webinar with the Cambridge Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Research Group. And that has been prepared for people who have Down syndrome and their supporters and parent carers. And we've worked with them on that. So yeah, do share that tomorrow. I think lots of people are coming, so we're quite excited about that. I put in brackets because we haven't advertised it yet. We haven't been involved with this, but the Lonsdowns Consortium is also hosting a research webinar, and it's on Saturday, the 26th of March. But if you watch our social media, we will be sharing information about that too. We have highlights from the Care Act for knowing your rights. On the 1st of April, we have Down syndrome and dementia, 8th of April, planning for adulthood sessions 1 and 2, also in April. We're going to host another one of these, a going forward update on the 14th of April, and secondary education on the 19th of April. Now, our parent carer support meetings are different to training, and they're happening all the time. We have a weekly meeting, Wellbeing Wednesday. We have monthly sharing positive support behaviour case studies. We have regular pregnancy and new baby meetings, and we have a complex needs parent carer support meeting also coming up in April. Information. We're delighted to share our new congratulations booklet, which has new information and beautiful photos in. So thank you to all the parents who sent us photos to make it look so lovely. You can download it from the website, and of course we'll have paper copies. So we'll be sending those out to any support groups or maternity services or hospitals who would like those? Okay, so get in touch if you think you need some of those. Thank you. And now I'd like to hand over to Stuart to tell us about 2 other new pieces of information that are available on the website.
Thanks ever so much, Jill. Hello, everybody, and happy World Down Syndrome Day. Right, so under the Life's Journey section of the website, there's a new section called Parent and Family Carers Wellbeing. And this section of the website is really about how we can proactively resource ourselves and how being kind to ourselves is an important part of our own well-being.
Sorry to interrupt, Stuart. Could you speak it just a little more loudly or a bit closer? Lovely, thank you.
Is that better?
That's much better, thank you.
I'll start again, sorry. Okay, so under the Life's Journey section of the website, you'll see a new section called Parent and Family Carers Wellbeing. This section of the website is really about how we can proactively resource ourselves and how being kind to ourselves is an important part of our well-being. And at this part of the website, you'll find a downloadable resource for parent carers. And there's also information about support for carers from the DSA. So please do take a look. Another section of the website which has been updated is the campaign section of the website, and we've added a heading equality under the campaign section. And under this heading is really a reminder that all of our campaigns have at their heart the promotion of equality across different areas of daily life for people who have Down syndrome and their families. And at this part of the website, you will find an updated DSA resource, the title of which is My Rights, My Community, Being Included and Discrimination. And this contains information about your rights under the Equality Act. So I would urge you to please take a look and download that resource. Thanks very much, Jill.
Thank you, Stuart. Now, you may have seen the Cool Down film called Just the Two of Us, which takes a light look, but with a serious message at relationships and how couples who have Down syndrome need space, particularly away from their families, and carers to develop their relationships. And to link up with that, we are delighted to offer all of our RSE resources available for free through our website. Now I'd like to hand over to Chris to tell you a little bit more about that.
Thanks, Jill. Thank you. So yes, hi everyone. As Jill mentioned, this is just a quick update to advise you all that the Down Syndrome Association has now made the teenage and adult resources free to download. These resources are now available via our website, via the Relationships and Sex page on our website, following the completion of a short form. So this is just really a quick recap to advise you all of what is included in these resources. So the teenage resources are 5 separate packs. They cover consent, relationships, privacy and boundaries, gender, sexuality and safe sex, and sexual acts. Each pack is visually based and is tailored to meet the general learning needs of a person who has Down syndrome. We also have an extra 6th pack, which is a collection of accessible, clear and uncomplicated illustrations that can be used to increase understanding about private body parts and sexual acts. We felt during the development of these resources that finding suitable images was just really difficult, and so hopefully the illustrations pack can be really useful to you all if you're creating new storyboards and creating new resources to support your person who has Down syndrome or a group of people who have Down syndrome and understanding more about this sort of area. For our adults pack, we have created a unique comprehensive training. Oh, sorry, Jill.
Sorry, I'm behind you. So that's the teenage resources.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, our adults pack, as you can see on the screen here, it's absolutely fantastic pack, and it is a full teaching resource. It includes accessible resources, workbooks, and teaching materials for people who have Down syndrome. Again, the 8 sessions can be tailored and can be facilitated by parents, carers, professionals, and people who work in supported living organizations. So really they're hopefully useful to anyone who picks them up, because what we'd want is the person who knows that person well to be able to pick up these resources and work with that person to support their understanding. So really, if you have any questions or queries about the resources, please feel free to contact us for our training at downs-syndrome.org.uk address, or you can contact us for our helpline, and hopefully they all serve you well.
Thank you, Chris. Now to Kate.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Jill. Happy World Down Syndrome Day to everyone. Just going to give you an update this morning on DS Active and DS Engage. So I am delighted to update everyone with an overview of the improvements that are being made to the Down Syndrome Association DS Active programme. The changes will bring the programme more fully aligned with the Down Syndrome Association commitments, promoting the right for people who have Down syndrome to be included in a full and equal basis with others. So we're excited to move forward with positive changes to the programme, which will ensure that existing opportunities for participation and inclusion continue, and that wider opportunities in our communities are also supported. It's very important that opportunities for children and adults who have Down syndrome to stay physically and mentally active are developed and supported. So updates will be made available through the Down Syndrome Association website and our social media, and please get in touch if you have any specific queries. So just looking at some specific updates, in recent news we have our football, tennis and athletics sessions that have continued to open up, and we've been running our successful online training support online. Great photo here of DS Extra 21 football in their new kit. Thank you so much for sending that photo in to us. And as you can see, we really do love to hear about activities and sports you're taking part in. So please continue to send us your news and your photos. So if we go to the next slide. So here we've got our DS Engage programme. So it's continuing weekly live on Zoom, and they are free events. And there is at least one event every weekday with additional special events. And you'll also find some extra content on the DS Engage web page on the DSA website and also on our YouTube channel. It really has been great to see the sense of community and friendship that is developing in our sessions, but we do always have room for more people to join, so please take a look at our timetable. The photos on the previous page just showed that some of our regular Wake Up and Dance participants having a great time within the freestyle section. And our discos are also fantastic. They're a great musical and visual treat for everyone. Lots of fabulous disco and sensory lights and some great dance moves. And I can honestly say they're a highlight of my week. So in terms of the web page, if you do want to book on and you're not familiar with it, I've just taken some screenshots there of our web page. You just click on the session you'd like to book. And once the booking form is completed with the details of the person who will be joining, so not necessarily the person who is filling in the form if they're not the person joining the session, and then an email is sent with the joining details, the Zoom details. But if you have any difficulties at all with booking, please get in touch, and you can do that by email, phone, or when we post on social media. So recently we've had 2 special events. They were really popular, and I'd just like to thank everyone who joined these events and made them such great sessions. And thank you to everyone who welcomed in the new year with us and made it a really special event. That was great. So talking about special events, we also have this week now to celebrate Awareness Week. We have a number of sessions, and first off, really excited to have Hannah join us to provide us with a Zumba session. She's the UK's first qualified Zumba instructor who has Down syndrome. Please join us at the session on Thursday. It's 6 till 6:45. That was the first session that we announced. Very excited because I haven't done Zumba. And I know that many of our regular session participants have already booked on, but there's lots of space and we'd love to see you. A couple of other sessions that we have this week are on the next slide. And we've got Singing Hands joining us on Thursday, 4:30 to 5:30. And we also have a special This Is Me disco on Saturday, 4 till 5 o'clock. Celebrating films and musicals, and I'm just glad that there's a mute function on Zoom, because I know that I will be singing my heart out at that one, like many of our participants. So that's going to be a great session. Please do come along. It's all on our booking page. We also, on our DS Engage webpage, have some specials. So if you head onto the webpage, you'll see at the bottom we have some World Down Syndrome Day colouring pages. And we really hope you'll enjoy colouring and crafting with these. We'd love to see your finished pieces of artwork. We really enjoy getting those, and we'll put them on our social media. And I just want to finish off by thanking all our DS Engage session participants. I know there are quite a few of you here today that joined us, and also our session providers, and we hope we'll see you all soon. And if you haven't joined a session yet, we do hope that you will do very soon. Thanks, Jill.
Oh, thank you, Kate. Now to Sheila, who's going to tell us about socks.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Happy World Down Syndrome Day and welcome to Awareness Week. I'm sure that a lot of you, like me, are wearing your odd socks this morning. The sales have totaled more than that now. We're up to over £28,000 worth of sales of socks this year. So thank you to everybody. I also want to say a very important thank you to Georgina in my team, who almost personally has packed over 7,000 pairs of socks and sent out to everybody. So, and 40% of those orders were all done last week. So everybody left it to the last minute, and she was incredibly rushed off her feet. But they are still available to buy. So if you want to get some in time to wear, maybe at the end of this week, then just go to our website and click those buttons and buy those socks. The other thing that we're encouraging everybody to do this week for fundraising is to take part in Challenge 21. It's really flexible and fun. You can do whatever challenge you dream up. So it really can be from walking 21 steps, eating 21 cakes, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And once you've completed it, you'll get a really lovely medal that our sock monkey is modelling there on the picture. So please do sign up to do Challenge 21 and help us raise lots of really important funds for Awareness Week. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Incredible. Now to Kate.
Hi everyone. It's lovely to see everyone here. I just want to say keep an eye out on social media and our website this week, because there are going to be lots of lovely things to share, and we want to see your stories, your pictures, whether it's your lots of socks pictures or your inclusion memes, messages or stories or images. There's going to be some fantastic content, but there's always room for more. So do get in touch, info@ or dsapress.office@downsyndrome.org.uk, or submit them on our website. There's lots of ways to get in touch, and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks ever so much, everyone.
Thanks, Kate. An exciting day and an exciting week. And now Carol has something to tell you about.
Hi, everybody again. Yes, our wonderful photographic exhibition that's happening this week on Thursday between 6 and 9. And it's the opening of what we hope will be a popular exhibition. with lovely memories and stories about people who have Down syndrome, who have lived, well, it's about everybody with Down syndrome, but there's a particularly large section that has been funded by Heritage Lottery that is devoted to people who have Down syndrome who've lived 50 years, as long as the Down Syndrome Association has been in existence, and many that have lived much longer than that. We've got some fantastic images, and we hope that you'll make time to visit. There are some, if you can't make it on Thursday, there are some open days that will be posted on our website, and we'll put them out on social media. But it's going to be a fabulous exhibition. It really, it's huge. It's several rooms at the Langdon Down Centre, and we've been able to upgrade those rooms and have the photographs beautifully displayed because we've had Heritage Lottery funding to tell our stories. There are also lots of personal stories to listen to on podcasts, so please do look on our social media and on our website, and come and see us if you can. We'll all be there on Thursday evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Now we have lots of lovely comments in the chat box, which you can all see. People wishing each other well and talking about resources and information. So thank you for that. We also have some questions in the Q&A box, which not everybody will have been able to see. And one of those questions is, re-COVID, any information about how new variants are affecting those who have Down syndrome? Don't know if Julian or Jill Ellis or both would like to comment.
I mean, I'll defer obviously to Jill as a medic, but certainly our experience, thankfully, has been, I can't think of anybody contacting the helpline to say about somebody becoming very significantly unwell, really, since the rollout of the booster programme. So I think the boosters provide very good protection against becoming, needing to be in hospital, but they're not particularly effective after a while in stopping people getting COVID. So we've heard of quite a lot of people, particularly with a new variant that is very transmissible, but thankfully, having quite mild symptoms of a sort of cold, and not lots of families actually making a decision that they don't particularly feel they need to have the antiviral medication because the illness has been very mild. I don't know whether Jill would want to say anything additional from her perspective.
Absolutely, I agree with all of that. I think, there is this, there's a lot of really good high quality research going on about COVID in Down syndrome, but there's nothing come out of that, I know, particularly about the new variant. You're right that the vaccine has been very effective, and the sickness in people who've been vaccinated is much reduced. This new variant is highly infectious, and people seem to be still getting it despite the vaccine. But actually, when you do, it's generally mild. But I haven't got anything academic from the journals about that, because it's always a lag time for that, and there's no information. But we could ask one member of our group who's heavily involved in that and let them know. And if there is, I could let you know, and you could put it out on the group.
Thank you very much. Now another question, how can we feed back about our experience of accessing COVID-19 antivirals, please?
We'd be very keen to hear any individual stories. You can do that through the helpline or the info @ and we field those through to, it's actually the head of policy at the Department of Health and Social Care. In a few instances recently, because it's done at a care commissioning group level, has asked for the postcode of the family and then has got directly in touch with their care commissioning group to try and see what the issue was. So yeah, do let us know, and we'd be very happy to feed that information directly back.
Thank you. We have another question for Jill, which is, are DSMIG conferences open to the public?
Generally, no. So one conference a year is at the Royal College of Paediatrics meeting, and we have it there because we try and pull in doctors who wouldn't otherwise find out about Down syndrome, and that is just paediatricians, nobody else. The other meeting is a slightly more open meeting, but half of the conference is always closed and only for members. And the reason we do that is because we have open conversations with us about patients, and there are very strict rules about confidentiality. So in order to we have a closed doctor meeting, so we can really talk about our issues that would be harder to do if the whole general public was there. There is then a section of lectures which you could apply to, the public could apply to come to, I think, if they want to, but generally it's very medical and aimed at doctors, with our idea that we feed information that we think is more interesting to other people through the DSA.
Thank you. Now, a comment that Alison might like to respond to about who can somebody talk to about WorkFit.
Hi there, you can contact us through the standard phone number 0333 1212 300, or you can email us at dsworkfit@downs-syndrome.org.uk, or my mobile number is on the DS WorkFit website. If you want to give me a call directly, I'd be very happy to discuss anything that you might need.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, did anyone want to add anything? No. Well, it's a great, oh no, we haven't, some more questions I've missed. Would the free lateral flow test be made available to carers too? As we have to test along with a young person and yes, take them to different places.
We're waiting for an announcement from the Department of Health and Social Care. It may be different according to which nation of the UK you live in. So I know Wales and Scotland have made slightly different provisions to England. My feeling has to be on a general sounding, I think that would be very unlikely. I think the only people that will be given ongoing free access to lateral flows are probably those people classed as immunosuppressed or living in a care home, not people who are clinically vulnerable. Because, as Jill said, the response to the vaccines has been very good, which actually means that their vulnerability, thankfully, is now not significantly different to the general population. We will certainly advocate for the ongoing free access to lateral flow tests, but if that does happen, I think it will only be for the individual themselves. It's not going to be extended to households. So I'd be very surprised if that happens, but we'll certainly put forward the case.
And I know that there's some discussion about considering whether or not we might want to continue it in special schools, for instance, rather than in mainstream schools. But that currently is still not happening at the moment, but there is some advocacy trying to argue for that too.
Right, thank you. We have a couple of questions which they're probably best for you to contact us, to email in at the info at address to talk to our staff about, and particularly the question about holidays and accessing holidays independently. And then I think a good note to end on is to wish Our Voice a very enjoyable celebration this afternoon, and a reminder that the link will be sent round to members of Our Voice for that later on today.
Jill?
Yeah.
Can I mention about the NHS? Well said at the beginning, and also during as well, to let the others know in the world that if you are struggling, and of course you've got any answers for this digital flag, you can get in touch with Julian or even to Our Voice too.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Thank you. Carol, would you like to finish?
There's a question that you've missed, Jill.
Okay.
About the bill.
Oh.
It was earlier on. What is the Down Syndrome Association response to people with other learning disabilities about why the Down Syndrome bill is a good thing, even though it is focused only on people with Down syndrome? I am hearing pushback because it does not include other learning disabilities. So, well, I think as people will know, the Down Syndrome Association wasn't involved in the development of the bill. Had we been involved, we would have almost certainly pushed for it to be wider and to include other people with learning disabilities. And I think we talked about that publicly. We have been pushing the department, other organisations have been pushing the department to try and get it as wide as possible. And we have managed to get the consultation widened to include organisations like Learning Disability England. So yeah, we just wait now. We wait to see if the bill passes through committee stage in the Lords, and we will be consulting with everybody. Every member will get a copy of the consultation, and every individual will be able to respond. Okay, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been great to see you all on World Down Syndrome Day. Don't forget the Ukraine appeal. We'll make sure that's on the front page of our website. Somebody suggested that earlier on. We'll do that. And have a great week. Have a great awareness week. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.